Okay guys, so I was just getting ready to go into the pool because it's really hot out, and I decided to take a walk over to the garden to see how things were going, because I hadn't looked at it since this morning. And you know, you watch your garden grow, but you're not going to believe what is growing inside my garden. Oh, come on with me, let's go take a look. Now, I didn't plant this, and I'm quite amazed that I actually even have it, but it's amazing, and I'm so excited because next year we're planning on planting them, but this one here grew like right underneath the tomatoes, and we kind of missed it because the tomatoes are really bunching and bushing up, and you know, we've tried to keep them down, but this is a little crazy. You're not gonna believe this. Here we go. Can you see that? Oh my goodness. A watermelon. We grew a watermelon in the tomatoes of all places. Oh, that's amazing. Can you see that? I am just amazed. Hold on, give me a second and I'll pull it out. Yeah, don't mind the bathing suit. Oh, it's so heavy. Oh my goodness. Like, really? Uh-oh. Yeah. I wished I grew a watermelon, but okay. So, bad video and all. Yeah, I didn't grow a watermelon, but I have plans for this watermelon that I think that you're going to be really, really excited to experience with us. I'm excited because it's a hot day, and it's a good thing to do with a watermelon on a hot day. And no, it doesn't involve vodka and drilling holes. Okay? So come back into the kitchen with me while we prepare this to make it such a wonderful summer's day. Next year, God willing, we'll actually grow them. One. If you remember, a couple of days ago, I went out and I picked this watermelon from my garden. As you see, really picked it. Remember? Ooh. Oh, and it's still really heavy. But, no, I bought this at the store about a week ago, so I really have to do something with it. It's very well ripe now and doing good. So, today we're going to make watermelon sorbet. I'm very interested in this. Both myself and Daryl love ice cream, but I figured we'd do a little twist on this because it is still so hot out in Ontario today, at least in the sun. It has dropped down to the low 80s, and it's a little bit drier, but it's bright and sunny outside, very warm, and I think that this would be a nice dessert for us to have and snack for us to have later. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and cut this up and get it cubed up, and we'll make some sorbet together. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to make up some room here. I'll actually need those bowls in a minute. One of them is going to be for the cut up watermelon, and the other one's going to be for the rinds and stuff, which we're going to put into the compost. And yeah, maybe we'll do something on that too soon. So this is how I do it. It is not at all probably the best way to do it, but it's the easiest way for me to get into the watermelon, which is starting with a good slice, keeping the fingers out the way. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Just gonna, oh, okay, let me get my other trick. If anybody else has a better way to do this, let me know. But at this point, this is the way I do it, and it works really well. There we go. Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful watermelon. Smells amazing. Yes. Okay. So let's move my kitchen tool out the way. And here we go. Starting in with this one. This half. I also use the same technique with the can when I'm cutting things like turnips and rutabagas and anything, squash, anything that could pose a difficulty for me to actually get through it with the knife. Making the knife sharper doesn't make things better. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and continue to cut this. You know, it's funny, I've never actually seen anybody on YouTube harm themselves when they're doing stuff like this, but I've watched so many content makers, wonderful people that I've learned an awful lot of things from, and I rely heavily upon them, but I've never seen anybody, you know, actually get hurt cutting stuff, but it happens. So, but I want to be as careful as possible, and that seems to be the safest way for me. Okay. Oh, isn't that funny? I always think you're ready. Okay, so I'm just going to take this out. So the recipe that I've actually put together a couple of recipes for this watermelon sorbet as I kind of looked it up on the internet. I'm not really following anybody's recipe except for the amount that I'm making. So this recipe requires 6 cups of diced watermelon, and that's what I'm going to work on now, is just getting those 6 cups together. And while I do that, let's talk about what I saw outside my kitchen window today. It was so fabulous and amazing. I was absolutely thrilled and happy because, as you know, we live, we're living in rural Ontario. We're not so far in like some of the other communities that we've driven through up north, but we definitely are in a rural community. It's listed as that. I think our population is about 4,000. We are very much near an Indian reservation, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so what I saw out the window today was just so amazing. So if you want to see what I saw out my kitchen window earlier, hang in there, and you know, we're gonna put that footage in at the end of the video just because it was truly an amazing thing to see. At least for me it is. Absolutely beautiful and wonderful. So, okay, so the recipe calls for us to cut up our watermelon into chunks and measure out 6 cups. So that's what I'm doing. I'm measuring out 6 cups. I'm going to pack them in pretty good. This recipe, well, the recipe that I'm thinking of and this recipe that I'm sort of following, so that's about 6, that's 1 cup. It calls for 6 cups of watermelon as well as 1 cup of sugar. I don't think that's too much sugar, and so I'm pretty happy with that ratio, and I want to do it as right as I can because I'm really looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this for a few days ever since I picked this watermelon. So, and there's 2 cups. I'm kind of pressing it in there. So that's 6 cups of watermelon and 1 cup of sugar. So when I have all of this done, I'm gonna bring you back and we'll get to the next step, which of course involves something else sharp with very fast spinning blades, which is a food processor. I am so glad food processors are covered up and you can't access the blades while they're going, because it is kind of a intimidating kitchen tool that I actually had to get used to working with because it was so, that's 3, it was so loud and fast and sort of violent, but now I'm used to it and I'm good with it. So, and here we go, that's 4. So I will bring you back when I'm done cutting this up and we'll get on to the next steps. Okay? Okay, so talking hands. This is my Black & Decker food processor. I said violent earlier, but what I really meant was loud and effective at what it does. So the recipe that I'm sort of following calls for the 6 cups of watermelon already cut and ready to go, 1 cup of sugar, there you go, a little bit of lemon juice, and some pink Himalayan salt, just about a dash, 1/4 teaspoon. Put it all in here, blend it up. Easy enough. And goes the watermelon. Of course. Yeah. See, perfect. That's me. Oh, I see why 6 cups, because that fits in here perfectly. Okay, so there's that. I'll pick up those couple that fell in a minute. And let's see, a little bit of salt. So 1 cup of sugar. I already measured it up. There we go. And they said about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm going to eyeball this. 1, 2. That should be good enough. Okay, let's put cover on. Lock it into place. Oops, wrong way. I always do that. Good, secure. Here we go. Loud noises. Gonna pulse it first. it go on low for about a minute. Shut it off because it's leaking. Okay. Well, that's never really happened before, but that's all right. I think that's pureed enough. So it's just about 30 seconds on low. Let me put this in the sink. And I am using a clean plastic Rubbermaid, well, it's not Rubbermaid, but plastic shoe container. And yes, I did wash it out, or plastic storage box. And then they say the recipe says pour it into, oh, that might not be pureed enough. Let's do this again. See? We're learning together. Oh my goodness. Alright. So maybe that might work. I might be able, that might actually make more sense. What a mess I'm making. Oh my goodness. This is terrible. Alright, gotta get that back out of the sink. It'll get done. Alright, I'm putting it on high. Perfect. So, there we go. Pouring it in. All right, now I don't care. This will now be covered and put inside of the freezer for about 3 hours, and I guess every hour or so I'm gonna go downstairs and give it a stir, and I might bring you back for that, but I'll definitely bring you back for the tasting of it. But simple, easy smeezy. They call this watermelon sorbet.